Hello everybody, welcome back. It is Obscure Nick today, here with a new video, and today we'll be discussing why a Zoey 101 reboot will never happen. So as you know, let's deep dive and thrive. So if you already don't know, Zoey 101 is a Nickelodeon show from 2005 to 2008 that was in the mid-2000s. It starred Britney Spears' little sister, Jamie Lynn Spears. It ended in 2008. For over the past couple of years, Zoey 101 has been speculated to have a reboot. In July 2019, it was reported by TMZ that Jamie Lynn Spears, the Spears family's favorite form of media, was interested in a Zoey 101 reboot. The article says Zoey 101 could be coming back to Nickelodeon. TMZ has learned Britney Spears' little sister, Jamie Lynn Spears, is already in talks to reprise the iconic role. It's been 11 years since Zoey 101 wrapped up, but with so many Nick classics like All That and Blue's Clues getting a second life, we're told execs are now honing in on a Zoey reboot. Our Nick sources tells us Jamie Lynn Spears has been talking with execs about the show, but it's not a done deal. We're told Jamie would reprise the iconic lead role, but with some major changes. First, we're told the premise of the show would follow Zoey's life in SoCal 10 years later at the age of 28. Only this time she'd have a couple of kids in the mix. Unclear if she'd have a partner or not, or if she's still involved with her character's longtime love interest Chase. However, our sources tell us this would be Zoey with an edge. Whatever that means, it's interesting too. Jamie Lynn herself has had a couple kids since the series ended in 2008, following 4 seasons of Zoey's PCA adventures, life imitating art, no doubt. When it's Zoey with an edge, I don't know what edge Jamie Lynn Spears is thinking about. Just a little curious about that. Secondly, it's very interesting that this is being talked about the same year where the Free Britney movement is really starting to pick up, in the sense where we are questioning the people around Britney and what's going on with her conservatorship, and this is when she was still battling it, and we were becoming aware of it. So it's very interesting that she's all of a sudden interested in Zoey. The timing seems very convenient in my opinion. On July 30th, 2019, not much longer from this article, some of the cast reunited for a dinner with everyone except Jamie Lynn herself, because she doesn't live in California, Kristen Herrera, who played Dana, Alexa Nikolas, who played Nicole, and Austin Butler, but nobody asked for him. Just like, no offense, no shade, but nobody asked. Like, really. You also would never guess who else was there, and guess who that was? DS. Which is like, oh my god, because this is the first time we really see DS in a public event with his other castmates from his shows, and as a full cast, since he was let go from Nickelodeon in 2018, just a year prior. So that was a bit alarming. So after this reunion, Alexa Nikolas then posts this video.
I shouldn't be crying because I'm an adult and those things were so long ago, but I guess it just brought up old memories and it's just sad. I don't get it.
Listen, I don't think it's fair to tell anybody how they should feel when they're dealing with childhood trauma triggers. So please be nice during this time. Thank you.
You know, it's sad that they didn't invite her, and I think she felt wounded in that moment because once again, she was being excluded. It's happening 14 years later, all over again. Yeah, it's crazy that they wouldn't even think to invite her, considering she was okay with some of the cast members, mainly the male ones. I feel DS constantly plays a factor into whenever he talks about Zoey 101 specifically, he only means the season 3 cast pretty much. He never mentions season 1 or 2 often. If anything, it'll be season 2 over season 1 because pretty much the season 3 cast is the only cast in his mind, which I get a vibe off of, which it's kind of tiring because I feel like he's just like erasing the legacy of the main characters prior, and I think for a certain reason because he wants to hide certain things. And then also the season 3 cast members conforms to DS's format the most. Once again, Alexa and Kristen and others get excluded, like even the girl who played Stacy, who was not even a main character, was there, and that's kind of odd that a character that wasn't even a main credit. Mind you, she did contribute a lot and she was better than some of the other actresses on that show. But still, I feel like Alexa and Kristen should have gotten an invite regardless. Things go even further with this when in November 2019, the cast of Zoey 101 from the first season reunited to film a guest appearance on All That. Again, Alexa wasn't invited and she spoke up, so she wasn't getting an invite. But this time Kristen was invited and she was there, and this was her first time doing acting since 2008. Then they had a gathering after filming without Jamie and Alexa. However, Victoria was invited to that. Again, excluding Alexa completely from the equation. All That episode aired in July of 2020. I don't think it even got 1 million viewers. A big slip from the prime of Nick days. Then in fall 2020, another reunion occurred with Jamie, Sean, Chris, Matt, Erin for a music video for the theme song. And, you know, that video was really green screen, very cheap, if you know what I'm talking about. It was very, like, Zoey 101 hasn't involved at all. In fact, that felt like a devolved just from looking at that music video, because Zoey 101 had a lot of beautiful scenery, which is what I loved about the show as a kid. It was very, you know, pleasing and easy on the eyes, if you know what I mean. And for this to go to green screen and to cheapen it just really cheapened the show overall. Like, yeah, that was a bizarre video and it had all these weird guest appearances that was totally irrelevant. And yeah, very odd. However, around this time, Jamie Lynn Spears and Alexa made up, which we'll get to later. During these press events of a lot of these Zoey 101 reboots that were happening in 2020, Jamie Lynn kept advocating for her daughter to be in the show and maybe even featured as a guest appearance, which again, it feels like that gives me very show business mommy vibes, if you know what I mean, because like you're pushing your daughter into acting, yet in your book, it's funny you say that, because in your book you write that your daughter doesn't even like watching your show. Generational patterns that are continuing with you, Jamie Lynn. So that's very interesting that you keep on advocating for that, yet she doesn't seem to want anything to do with that. June 21, Britney Spears spoke out, and that's when cast members began turning. Paul Butcher made a few comments on his TikTok saying that he would never be part of a Zoey 101 reboot after what he heard from Britney. And I know that his mom is furious with Jamie Lynn Spears for writing a bunch of lies in her book. And Alexa Nikolas unfollowed Jamie, while other cast members seemed to stay quiet. Chris Massey went to the Spears' favorite form of media, TMZ, to talk about it, and says that Paul needs to talk with him and that there's still a reboot happening. And I'm like, is it though? Like,
you know, for me, I've talked to Jamie and I hope that the show moves forward because it's a great thing that other people want to see, the fans want to see. And,
and she wants to do it.
Yeah. We've all discussed it. openly that we all were agreeing to do it and want to do it. So I think it'll be fun.
Okay. So bottom line is the show isn't canceled.
Show is not canceled. Zoey 101 is happening. And, Paul, talk to me later, man. I'm going to call you. I don't know anything about what happened and what was said, but I want to figure it out, clear the air, because, everyone is in good spirit about the show, and they all wanted to make it happen. So we haven't gotten any calls saying that.
When Jamie Lynn released her book, Things I Should Have Never Said is more like it. Paul's mom is mad. Mom was mad about this book and called Jamie Lynn a liar in some text to Sam Lefty. Paul Bitcher also liked the post Britney has posted about shading Jamie Lynn, and Alexa Nikolas spoke out and called Jamie Lynn a liar. And then eventually Britney actually reached out to Alexa and apologized all these years later to her and said that Jamie Lynn lied to her about her. And I think, once again, I do think this overall feud with Jamie Lynn and Alexa is happening from Jamie Lynn's end because it seems very orchestrated, and I feel Jamie Lynn was intimidated by Alexa because Alexa was the better actress and the more versatile actress overall. So shortly after this, in February 2022, Erin Sanders then unfollowed Jamie Lynn. Apparently Chris Massey was trying to mend it by going to TMZ once again and said that he could mediate it, even though Alexa called him out, and he said he never mediated back then. His mom was doing more of that rather than him. Chris Massey said that she never bullied Alexa, which is true. However, he stayed silent, and that's what Alexa was alluding to with you, Chris. That's what she was saying. And then apparently, I found this. On Alexa's page, Chris Massey basically sent all these bots coming after Alexa and stuff. And if you look at it, it has the same emojis that are used in there, that is used on this Instagram page of this magazine, and of him commenting, and he puts that cap, and that's a hint at who it is, because who else would use that cap emoji? Like, I don't know anyone else but Chris Massey that uses that. But truthfully, at the end of the day, there is just so much drama that just happened here in just the past month, and through this whole Zoey 101 reboot thing, where truthfully, I don't think Zoey 101 reboot is happening ever, because there's just so much backstage behind the scenes conflict that this show could never recover from, truthfully. You have to include everybody. You really do. Otherwise, this is not going to play out in everyone's favor. And I think everyone from the beginning should have included everyone, and they should have had a healing conversation from the beginning back in July 2019 before going into Zoey 101 reboots. That way the outcome isn't what it is. Because look, it looks so shady excluding people like that. Like, why are you excluding certain people? Like, why? So if you're gonna do a reboot, include everyone. That's just what it is, because otherwise it just blows up in your face. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Sending you guys much love to you all, and tune into the next video next time. Bye!